So before, I guess before, I believe it was Friday. It was Friday. It was yesterday when the Supreme Court struck down a large portion of Donald Trump's global tariffs. He had
Good
used
news, yay.
what's that?
So good news, yay.
Good news.
Until short-lived good news.
But I think I just want to lay the groundwork really quick of just like, so those tariffs existed as what they were called reciprocal tariffs. They were meant to balance out trade deficits. And so the whole time I want people to keep in the back of their mind this context of trade deficits. So like I said, all the shit gets weedy. It's obtuse for a reason. People get cross-eyed, but very simply, we create a trade deficit with another country because we will import a higher dollar amount more goods from them than they do from us. That's how a trade deficit works. We buy more stuff from them.
It seems straightforward to me, but it is a concept that really eludes a lot of people. Or they see it as an intrinsically bad thing when it's not. Like, I would much prefer to be on the side of a trade deficit that we are. Because that means we're not the country that is creating tons and tons of cheap shit for the world to buy because we're using cheap oppressed labor. As much as that sucks for them, I don't want to be on that side of the economic equation.
Well,
being on this side of the trade deficit is emblematic of where we are in that relationship.
Yeah. I mean, like the idea, like the whole reason why we have a trade, like there's nothing intrinsically wrong with having a trade deficit. Like it is exactly that simple of just there's some nuance to the trade deals that can exist that create that deficit, and the terms by which
much nuance in and around all of this.
Yeah, the terms by which that deficit is created or it grows specifically, that's varied from country to country. With a country like Sweden, that trade deficit, I think, largely exists because one, we have the third largest population in the planet. Two, we have the highest total GDP of the planet. So we have a ton of money that we can spend on goods to import. And Switzerland does have one of the highest GDP per capita, but it has 9 million people.
Yeah.
Like, there's almost no way that you don't create a trade deficit with a country that manufactures anything that you'll consume that has that orders of magnitude fewer people than you have.
We have several cities that are in that population range.
We've got 340 plus million people. They have 9 million people. We have the highest GDP on the planet. We're going to be buying your shit. We're going to have a trade deficit, like, by and large. Like, a weird country that you maybe wouldn't expect us to have a trade surplus with is Australia. Like, if you wouldn't expect it at first, but if you think about it a little bit longer, it's like, oh yeah, like Australia.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there's a lot of shit that country just doesn't have the infrastructure to manufacture and or grow. Like, it makes perfect sense that an island country with that kind of geography is going to need to import certain things, and like it's a relatively small population over a big landmass, so basically just a small handful of cities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think like, but looking at that kind of perspective with the trade deficits at the back of the mind, like the idea of using trade deficits tariffs to combat trade deficit, like, kind of can make some sense in some situations, because all it really is we add a government imposed fee, a tax on goods we import from other countries. So we drive the demand for that good from that country down, and the United States
ideally towards our own.
Yeah. Ideally,
it makes it.
Well, and really, it depends. Like, if you're trying to lower the overall trade deficit, there's a problem in that you might just move that trade to another country. And so the overall trade deficit remains the same. You've just moved the money from one country to another.
That's why
So
tariffs are a tool that are supposed to be used with like surgical precision and not just like wield it all willy nilly like a fucking kid with a hammer. Like,
right.
We've got a toddler with a hammer fucking imposing tariffs on shit that makes no sense. And 1 minute it's everything, the next minute it's not. It's asinine.
Do we want to watch a little bit of Donald Trump responding to the IEEPA tariffs being struck down in the Supreme Court?
Yes, that sounds lovely.
So I'm gonna preface this by saying that from now on, anytime I'm playing Donald Trump speaking, I'm going to put it in at least 1.25 speed. This is not to obfuscate how brain-addled the president is, as much as just to make him more tolerable to listen to. Because
I greatly appreciate, because I hate the fucking sound of his voice. And I would be even in favor of turning it up enough to make him sound like fucking chipmunk speed. Just so I can fucking laugh about it at least.
Well, so let's lay the context again here really quick. So there are other tariffs that exist out there, which he will mention in the speech. And there are other means of creating tariffs that are they require things like congressional approval after a certain amount of time, or they require an investigation before they can be imposed. Things like that. The IEPA,
again, tariffs aren't necessarily a bad thing. Tariffs are just an economic tool that can be used for good or ill.
Right. And the IEEPA, their interpretation of it, I think, was the use of it basically was that it didn't have a cap implied on the tariffs, because it seems to have not been implied. Tariffs, the use of tariffs seems to not be approved under that at all in the first place. So of course there would be no cap mentioned. And also there's no need for an investigation before tariffs, because again, it doesn't seem to have been implied that tariffs could be used under that authority. So I think that's part of
why would you make rules against something that should not logically exist?
The rule book doesn't say dogs can't play basketball, Travis.
Dude, you just brilliantly summed up this administration. Like, that's Trump 2.0 in a nutshell.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That mixed in with a little bit of the card says moops, and there you go.
Yeah. I think the implication there being that their interpretation of the IEPA, which is, I guess, vague, their interpretation says that any reasonable person reading it would think that tariffs were included in the authority that's granted to the president there, but it seems to be more leaning towards embargoes and like licenses, things like that, which doesn't come up in the speech. Yeah, he's got some words for everybody involved in this. So
he's got the best words. Bigley has the best words.
Big time best words. Let me see, make sure. Okay.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country. I'd like to thank and congratulate Justice.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put it on 1.25.
Just say, shouldn't you?
There we go.
I almost thought for a second maybe that was it turned up to 125. And it was just so slow and stupid.
125 might not be enough. I forgot for a moment there. Let's continue.
This is Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for their strength and wisdom.
It's one of those things, like, you wake up in that kind of world every day and you start to feel a little numb to it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm numb to the fact that I exist in a world with Samuel Alito in the Supreme Court. And I'm pretty numb to the Clarence Thomas aspect of it, too. Except he's been implicated himself, so...
Yeah.
That is a topic that's surprisingly gotten very little attention.
It needs a lot more for sure.
A lot. A Supreme Court justice who's already had some weird proclivities in the past that didn't get the attention they deserve is openly weird about watching porn around his colleagues in the fucking Supreme Court of all places. And is now deeply involved in Epstein files, and somehow that's not getting a shitload of attention.
There is a little bit of something funny just conceptually about a Supreme Court justice jerking off under his robe during a deposition or something.
A little bit. I mean, there's some fucking dark humor there, but you're not wrong.
But it would be a lot funnier. It'd be a lot funnier if it wasn't the world we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it's a lot funnier. When it's satire.
Yeah. There's a non-zero chance that has happened.
Oh yeah. There's a non-zero chance that it is part of the ceremony for some reason.
Yeah, I mean shit, you're not wrong. Some of the fucking I'm not gonna get into that Golden Crossbones Bohemian Grove rabbit hole again.
Why not? Why not?
God damn it. They keep pulling me back in.
All right, let's do this. I backed it up just a few.
Alito and Kavanaugh for their strength and wisdom and love of our country, which is right now very proud of those justices. When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long, that I can assure you. The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. They're an automatic no, just like in Congress. They're an automatic no. They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices. They're an automatic no, no matter how good a case you have. It's a no. You can't knock their loyalty. It's one thing you can do with some of our people.
Dude, okay.
Right.
So, first of all, 1.25 speed, he does start to sound a little bit like 2016 Trump. You know what I mean?
It sounds a little more vaguely coherent.
Dude, he is he just immediately out with the aggrievement. Immediately, if you do anything against Trump, you are anti-American. You know what I mean? Even if you've explicitly left open other means to do exactly what you're doing, what he wants to do. Even if you leave that explicitly open and make basically the softest decision you could make that goes this direction with those specific tariffs being in place,
there is no bottom to his pettiness.
Yeah.
It's so just inherently petty and narcissistic that it knows no fucking depth.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's so personally aggrieved. And Scott Bessent was on Fox News after this too, talking about this being a blow to the American people. It's not just it damages
because the American people are clamoring for all these tariffs.
Yeah, desperately. Please,
the people are going to be in the streets with their pitchforks because these tariffs got struck down. Especially the people who are unemployed now because their business went under because couldn't afford the tariffs. Mostly small businesses. The big ones are fine.
Yeah.
But there are so many fucking really small businesses who make the biggest part of their economy through things like Etsy and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people that have suffered the most because they don't have the economic power to stockpile inventory for long enough to outlast economic fluctuations. They don't have the buying power to buy inventory in bulk and keep up with things that way. It's so tons and tons of small businesses like that have been folding from tariffs. And honestly, we still haven't even seen the worst of it. They're just kind of the canaries in the coal mine, really.
Yeah.
They don't have the power to withstand these fluctuations.
Yeah.
Hopefully just fluctuations. Hopefully not fucking death spirals. But
well, I mean, when you've got fucking billionaire assholes like Sam Altman out there basically like frothing at the mouth at the idea of people losing their jobs in the next 2 years because artificial intelligence and robotics will take it over. Like you live in a world where the desire seems to be to impoverish people at the behest of enriching a very small subset of people that are cool with Donald Trump, that are okay with white supremacy. And like, that's like, it seems kind of almost glib to put it that way in a way, but it's that obvious. Like it really is just in our face every fucking day, every decision that they make, all the, like the USD1 crypto shit, the way
all of that shit. How did that not get people fucking pissed off? Like, sending $10 billion to his little
board of peace,
board. That is just a slush fund that he can spend however he wants. Like there's so many things of that magnitude. You'll still hear dipshits in argument when you're talking about this in online places like Reddit that will fucking rebel. Why is anybody talking about Hunter Biden? Motherfucker.
Like, which like the craziest shit about Hunter Biden could be true, and the scale is not even close.
Thank you. That's exactly what I said. So this person brought up Hunter Biden and like Joe Biden has 3 homes because that is apparently excessive wealth for a person who is president of the United States. And some other fucking thing. It's like, dude, all of those things that you brought up put together are still in order of magnitude, at the very least, orders of magnitude lower than any of the particular grifts that we were talking about in that Reddit thread. There was several different things that related to this, all these various fucking horrible grifts and slush funds. Like, that shit was still peanuts compared to just one of those things.
And like, we might also not be talking about Hunter Biden right now because Joe Biden isn't the president that is also using his secret police to beat people about the head and neck, if not just murder them in the street.
Also that, it's a little less fucking timely. It's a little less pertinent at the moment.
Yeah.
Dude, am I frozen on your screen? Because like on my screen, I haven't moved in 5 minutes.
You were frozen today.
Christ! I was frozen today! Okay.
Anyway, back to Tariff Town. Where were we?
Back to Donald Trump.
Tariffs are going to make us great again.
What would kids call this? Sad maxing on TV about the Supreme Court ruling against him? Is that what this is? Sad maxing directly into rage maxing here in just a few.
You can do with some of our people. Others think they're being politically correct, which has happened before far too often with certain members of this court, and it's happened so often with this court. What a shame. Having to do with voting in particular. When in fact they're just being fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats, and not that they should have anything at all to do with it. They're very unpatriotic and disloyal to our Constitution. It's my opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than people would ever think. It's a small movement. I won by millions of votes. We won in a landslide. With all the cheating that went on, there was a lot of it, but we still won in a landslide. Too big to rig. But these people are obnoxious.
What does that have to do with goddamn shit?
Fucking
man.
It's a small movement that's against him. You know what I mean? Tiny. It's tiny. It's not
just
that
like
many.
this tiny little penis.
Don't look at the polls.
No,
polls aren't.
Well, you can't because we're shutting those down. Gallup polls shut down. Is going to no longer do presidential polls for the first time in its almost 90-year history, I think.
Which is insane. It's like, why?
Which is what it was most known for. Like, its presidential polling is like its signature thing. Like,
yeah. I'm curious.
I mean, granted, that's the big one problem.
I'm curious as to specifically why. Like, I actually haven't found anything about specifically why. I haven't looked too much, to be honest. But surely there's
I remember hearing a rationale for it that it just sounded. It didn't ring very true. Didn't really pass the sniff test, other than like we're just being sycophants.
Well, it's crazy to be out there before like Fox. Like even Fox is doing like running polls that are negative for the president, and like Gallup is like it's just weird. It's really weird.
Like they must have somehow gotten some Trump loyalists on the board, or I think. And don't quote me on this. No, never mind. I'm not even going to speculate because I want to say it's something about the family itself. Like,
I don't know. I have to look into it for sure. That'd be worth digging into a little bit. But yeah, it's just I don't know.
But again, it goes along with all the media capture and just the gaslighting that we're all kind of receiving in mass.
Yeah,
it's keeping us all just like walking along, whistling past the graveyard. You know, like there's so many things going on that in a normal time would be front page, 5-alarm, blaring news. That are just tiny, tiny little fractions of the daily horror show. We've just become so like hyper normalized to all of it, which is again just another part of fascism. It relies on you don't go from taking over to gas chambers overnight. You gotta slowly boil that water so the frog doesn't hop out.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I honestly, every day goes by, Chuck Schumer looks a little bit more like he's a boiled frog, literally and figuratively.
Between him and Hakeem Jeffries, they make Neville Chamberlain look like fucking Captain America. Or someone British that actually has a fucking spine, you know.
Yeah, sure. It's one of them.
Somebody that has a fucking ounce of fortitude.
No, their complicity in this is, I mean, I don't know. Donald Trump did get Chuck Schumer to swear.
Oh, yeah, Chuckles dropped an F-bomb, didn't he?
Yeah. Dropped it hard too, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, one of the hardest videos on YouTube.
The Republicans are reeling. Just reeling.
yeah, reeling and falling over and laughing themselves to death.
Through a folding chair.
Literally throwing up with laughter. Just they can't contain it.
Dude, I've been watching, finally catching up on South Park. I hadn't seen any of the new shit yet.
Yeah.
And god damn, it's insanity. And it's amazing that that they haven't fallen out of Windows or anything yet.
Yeah,
God damn, that shit must eat him fucking alive. Either that or nobody really showed it to him and they all just kind of lied and told him it was not nearly as bad as it actually is.
I think that they probably just told him something like, "Oh, nobody watches it anyways."
Yeah.
Like, and just don't ever show it to him. And yeah,
it's meaningless.
I don't see a reason why anybody would make a point to show it to him. Now, people like Pete Kegsbreth, definitely, I could see actively going out of their way to watch it and hate watch it, and
Sam Bondi or Gnome. I think Gnome definitely got under her skin because man, it's pretty brutal about her appearance.
Which
in any other circumstance, I would say, hey, now, like, people look like what they look like. That's not fair, but in this instance, yeah, fuck her. That joke is wildly appropriate, and she chooses to do all of that horrific shit to fit this Mar-a-Lago standard of beauty that they're all fucking trying to look like, and it's just grotesque. So yeah, fucking flame the shit out of that. Fucking
yeah. I mean, I think that by and large, the gloves are off when you're dealing with a horrible fucking person.
Horrible cesspool of a human being.
Yeah.
Absolute amoral monster.
It's again one of those things like, hey, as long as you don't, lie.
Speaking of, you did. I'm sure you heard the